Hi guys, I'm Giselle and this is part two of what I think is going to be a very, very interesting week. So part two, the reasons for the generals meeting in Quantico on Tuesday, right? So the first one was about potential insurrection. The second one is about energy, okay? So there is a big push by the US to actually become energy dominant throughout the world. I mean, it pretty much is at the moment, but they want to take out the rest of the opposition. So you just have to join the dots, right? This is what I used to do when I was in intelligence. You join the dots from available intelligence and you make a picture of what is likely to happen. So look at what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. Trump has just said to the Taliban that he wants Bagram Air Force Base back. Why? Just so happens that Bagram Air Force Base, which of course was built by the Americans for Afghanistan, is only an hour away from where the Chinese build their nuclear weapons. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Now, in the same week, the Trump administration has said that they want to rebuild the bases in the Philippines. Now, when you consider that only a couple of years ago, they got Darwin to accept a rotation of 2,500 US Marines. So you've got that going on as well, plus all the various different fleets. You have the Pacific Fleet going on, which is a basic army corps in itself. So they're surrounding China. And they can do that for one reason, is that it used to be, remember the Cold War? That was when I was doing all my intelligence work. In the Cold War, it was all about Russia. It's all about the Soviet Union. And it was about how we were going to stop them from invading Europe, essentially. Well, we've seen now with Ukraine, that is not going to happen. I mean, the Russians can't even take 200 kilometers of Ukraine, let alone the whole of Europe and against NATO. And they've depleted their tank corps by a third. They're basically destroying their army as it goes on. And what this has done now with the Ukrainians taking out energy facilities, they're actually disabling the Russian economy. Once the Russian economy goes, Putin will have to go. He doesn't want to go. He will fight to the very end, but the people may push him out. So you may be looking at a second Russian revolution. Now, we've seen that Ukraine has been stalling Russia. Now, America, only a year ago, said, well, let them go. It's nothing to do with us. Now they're saying, oh, no, we're going to actually send a lot more munitions to Ukraine because my enemy's enemy is my friend. And that is what they're actually doing. They're stalling Russia in order to be able to deal with China. Okay, this is all about China. This has nothing to do with Russia. Okay, so what they're doing, they're playing a game because they know that Russia, used to be the big enemy. Now, also look at what else is happening in the world, right? Remember, 800 generals meeting together, all of them, not just the army, but all of the various different arms. So let's look at what else is happening. Well, suddenly we've now got the Department of Defense is now called the Department of War. That should give you a clue as what's going on, because now we're seeing on a war footing with half a fleet going down to Venezuela. What does Venezuela have? Oil, lots of it, and very close to us. So if we were able to destroy the cartels and destroy the Maduro administration and replace it with a more friendly administration, then you would find that the only way that the Venezuelans would be able to thank us is to be by giving us their oil. So that's another reason why this is happening, all at the same time. Remember, this is all about energy. Now, what else is happening in the world, right? Nothing happens in isolation. All of a sudden, Netanyahu has just come over here, had meetings with Trump. What does he do as soon as he gets home? Is that he attacks Iran. Okay, so Iran's nuclear facilities and all of their infrastructure is being bombed as we speak by the Israelis. Now, we've known that the American assets have been used to destroy the Houthis and Hezbollah. We've left Hamas to the Israelis. What we need to do is to be able to destroy Iran and overthrow Iran so that their oil becomes ours as well. You see where this is going? It's all about energy. Now, in order to do that, you need to have all of the military on board, because to be able to fight wars on 3 fronts can only be conducted by the US. I mean, Russia can't even do 1 front at the moment. China doesn't even have an ocean-bound navy. It's very much a coastal navy. So China has a lot of people, a very large army. It has a nuclear arsenal, which it can't really deploy. And therefore, most of its influence in the world is largely economic. So this is a way for this administration to be able to become totally energy dominant throughout the whole world. If we were to own Venezuelan oil, Russian oil, Iranian oil, I mean, really, what else is there to do? So I think that is a really compelling argument for what this 800 officers are going to be meeting about. We'll see. Like, share, post, repost, do what you need to do. This is Simon Giselian, out to you.